Like Trump is just 3 weeks from becoming the first ex-president to go on trial. President Trump has won a legal triumph when an appeal court more than halved the value of $500 million bond pledged needed to stop prosecutors from seizing some of his properties. Barring some unforeseen event, Trump will on April 15 become the first ex-commander-in-chief to go on trial, injecting a stunning intangible into November's election and shattering yet another presidential precedent. The coming trial will provide an acid test of his strategy of seeking discredit, what he insists is a corrupt legal system, and to leverage his political movement against his opponents. But despite all Trump's efforts to slow down simultaneously running legal clocks, there is now a real possibility one of the candidates on the presidential ballot could be a convicted felon. Of course, it is also possible that Trump could be acquitted in this trial case.
Election interference, this is all Biden-run things, meaning Biden and his thugs, because I don't know if he knows he's alive. And it's a shame. It's a shame what's happening to our country. This is election interference. I greatly respect the decision of the appellate division, and we will abide by that. We'll put up cash or bond very quickly, securities, cash or bond, whatever it is. We'll put it up very quickly, and we'll win the case. I built a phenomenal company that's very low leverage, unbelievably low leverage, with a lot of cash, a lot of everything else. Why should I let a crooked judge make a decision to give $450 million that allows me to spend very little money on my campaign if I so choose? I'll be spending money on my campaign. I might spend a lot of money on my campaign, but I should have that option. A crooked judge shouldn't say, we're going to have you post a bond and take all of that money that I could be spending on a campaign or other things if I want to do other things.
While he's talking about spending so much money on his campaign, he is facing 34 charges of falsifying business records relating to hush money payments made before the 2016 elections to cover up an alleged affair with an adult film star, Stormy Daniels.
Well, away from the U.S. elections, Russia adds another African country to its list of nuclear partners. West Africa's Burkina Faso and Russia's state corporation specializing in nuclear energy and high-tech product, Rosatom, are about to finalize a nuclear deal. Both sides are now in the process of signing a roadmap to build a nuclear reactor in the West African country. And this is in line with Russia's ambition to strengthen its influence on the African continent. Yakuba Zabriguba, the Minister of Energy, Mines and Quarries in Burkina Faso, recently relayed that the country intends to partner with Russia on a nuclear deal. He made the information known during an interview with Sputnik Africa on the sidelines of the International Forum on Nuclear Energy, which took place in Syria's Federal Territory, Russia.
Meanwhile, the American-manufactured aircraft can execute numerous intelligence missions simultaneously. For instance, it can clandestinely monitor a high-ranking official in Rafah, pinpoint the origin of a ballistic missile in Yemen, identify a weapons convoy between Iraq and Syria, locate a suspect near a nuclear reactor in Iran, and track a vehicle carrying senior officials that must be neutralized in the heart of Beirut, Dila. Less than half a year after its debut at the Paris Air Show, the Israeli Air Force new intelligence aircraft became operational in the midst of the war. The Ministry of Defense capitalized on the conflict to expedite the operational assimilation process, typically lasting months to mere days. At the conclusion, the Air Force declared the Orion aircraft fully operational. What a world we are in.
Oh well, Iran eyes Russia and China for nuclear investment ties. Iran is seeking to expand cooperation with Russia and China on nuclear energy issues, according to a report. The Iranian spokesman for Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, Baruch Kamalvandi, in an interview with Iran's Tasnim News that was published on Friday, said Iran is seeking to mobilize in his words, our facility so that we can also use foreign resources and technologies. Countries like Russia and China are our main target, and we have had negotiations with them. We have the necessary legal infrastructure, and we will act according to the protocols we have already agreed with them. Now, this is a Russian expert explaining why Putin treated U.S. warning about possible terror attack as blackmail. Former CNN Moscow bureau chief Jill Dougherty breaks down how the Kremlin is handling the aftermath of a terror attack at a concert hall in the outskirts of Moscow. Let's see.
Can you just put it in perspective for our viewers, the scale of the shock that this created for the Russian people and for the government, and it didn't happen in a vacuum here?
Yes, that's really true. I think it is traumatizing for Russians, because you look back, ever since Vladimir Putin was the president, which began, 24 years ago, there have been a lot of terror attacks. And after each one, there was an investigation, not clear what happened. And just looking at this, literally days after Putin was reelected,